and welcome back to my Five Nights at Freddy's theories. Today, I'm discussing the Help Wanted 2 update. I will split this up into a few different segments. Mixus, the White Tiger, and other predictions. So, Mixus. Holy, there's a lot going on with Mixus in this update. We got a whole new ending where we shut down Mixus and a blue van takes off with it. There are a million different ways to interpret this, and I wanted to cover two of my own interpretations. The base for both interpretations is the fact that we see Mixus without the Vanny mask on. For the entirety of Ruin, we can only see the entity with the mask on. The fact that we can subtly see them with the mask off raises some red flags. Mainly one big red flag saying, this is the Mixus before they get implemented into the Pizzaplex's security system. Okay. Now, on to where this base idea splits off into two different interpretations. Interpretation 1. It was Cassie's dad who shut down Mixus and took it. For the entire rest of Help Wanted 2, I believe we play as Cassie's dad, who I'm just going to call Carlos from now on. That's my headcanon name for him. Don't think I need to explain why I think it's Carlos we play as. I think it can be assumed that we are still playing as Carlos during this update, as there is really nothing to suggest we are suddenly a different character. Considering it's we, the player, who shuts down Mixus, it could very easily be saying Carlos shuts down Mixus. And since this is a version of Mixus that exists before getting implemented in the Vanny network, it can be assumed that whoever is taking Mixus is taking them to implement them into the Pizzaplex. I think it's also very likely that the driver of the van is the same person who shut down Mixus. And if it was Carlos who shut down Mixus, then it's Carlos taking Mixus to implement them into the Vanny network. Interpretation 2. This ending reflects events in 1979, and it was Fazbear Entertainment who shut down and took Mixus. The rest of the update centers around events in 1979, so why would the Mixus ending suddenly be several decades later? We could simply be playing as Carlos discovering events that happened in 1979, rather than playing as Carlos literally deactivating Mixus. But then, what does this mean for the Mixus ending? I think it could mean someone built Mixus in 1979 to counteract the Mimic. But because Fazbear Entertainment wanted to use the Mimic, they shut down Mixus and confiscated it. I think it's pretty well established how the White Tiger plush confirms that Edwin Murray, not Henry Emily, built the Mimic in games. It's also pretty hardcore evidence for Tales games. I don't think I need to go very deep into that part, but I still wanted to mention it as it is a huge piece of lore from this update. I wanted to talk about my predictions on how this White Tiger character will play a vital role in Secret of the Mimic. So, the White Tiger plushie looks an awful lot like a shrunk down mascot costume. It's practically a white tiger with one green eye and one blue eye version of Vanny. It also has this weird organic thing inside of it. I assume that this means that this white tiger is going to have a much bigger role in Secret of the Mimic than I first thought it would. And I even have a guess as to what its role will be. Let's take a journey back to the storyteller from Tales from the Pizzaplex. When Edwin first sees the white tiger head that is to become the head of the storyteller, he has a terrible flashback. After reading the Mimic, I thought the flashback was related to David dying. But looking back, the details just don't quite match up with that. Edwin's flashback goes like this. The sounds. A screech and a scream, his own yelling, the sights, blood, so much blood, and a gut-clenching grimace, the smells. Edwin gagged at the metallic scent that suddenly assaulted his nostrils. Sure, David's death consisted of Edwin yelling and blood, but it just doesn't match up right. If you're going to mention sounds, why not the sounds of a vehicle? Why does there seem to be more screaming than just Edwin's own? There being so much blood doesn't match up with just one person being hit by a car. I think Edwin is referencing an entirely different event than David's death here. There's another detail from this flashback that I think is important. Right after Edwin composes himself and takes another look at the storyteller head. For all Edwin knew, the tiger head could have been made of platinum, although the one that lived in his memories hadn't been. Whatever evil white tiger lived in Edwin's memories wasn't an animatronic. While that does leave a lot of other options, considering we now have a white tiger mascot costume that has the same design as the storyteller, I think the thing from Edwin's memories is this white tiger mascot costume. I think this white tiger mascot costume is going to be used to murder people in Secret of the Mimic. And I think Edwin is going to witness it. I think this is what is to become Edwin's flashback from the storyteller. Who's going to be inside the mascot costume? I have no clue. Considering the organic substance we can find in the white tiger plushie, I imagine it will be a person, I just don't know who yet. I also imagine that Mimic will have something to do with this white tiger costume, I just don't know what yet. Here's a few other predictions I have for Secret of the Mimic. It will take place in 1979. Sun and Moon are going to make an appearance. We will learn more about how Freddy Fazbear's Pizza came to be. We will either meet Edwin Murray or play as Edwin Murray. Please, Fuel, let us play as Edwin Murray. I want to learn more about his character. I've only watched a total of 3 other videos related to this update so far, so I'm really wondering what other people are thinking about it. I only covered a few big things in this video, but there's tons of other things to consider. Like, why did that Jackie picture show up in specifically Circus Baby's Entertainment and Rental? And why did we get the white tiger plush from there? Is there significance behind each puzzle piece location? Does the Mimic being in its mascot suit from the Scooper ending of Ruin mean the Scooper ending is canon? So many questions! I will happily talk to y'all in the comments about your own thoughts and predictions. Bye!